in Cameroon, Africa, and the world. Welcome to World Gospel Broadcasting Network. I am Abanda Edwin. Today we'll be looking at the Board of Trustees in Cameroon. The Board of Trustees in Cameroon will also touch on the annual Gospel Lectureship that is coming up from the 26th of November. Dear brothers and sisters, what do we really see at the board? What is really wrong with the board? The people in the board think that they are more Christian than others. In fact, they are so influential that they can do anything they like and nobody will oppose them. We see incompetence. We see mismanagement. We see embezzlement. We see taking intellectual Christians for granted. Love for power, manipulations, favoritism, no proactiveness, lack of accountability. My dear brothers and sisters, when the World Gospel Broadcasting Network came up and said it was time that the Board of Trustees put itself together and start compiling database for the church in this country, because it was incumbent on them, or whether government acts it now or acts it tomorrow or acts it which day, they are supposed to know that they are existing so that they will be able to give vital information when need is be. How can you have a board of trustees that does not know the total number of Christians in this country, the total number of congregation, the total number of congregation with trained preachers, and the one that don't have trained preachers, the total number of congregation with building, total number of congregation with lands with no building, and total number of congregation with no building at all? How can you say this is a board? When we came up, they said, no, there's no problem. Government, until when government will ask. Now they are asking that people start giving money so that they can go and do what we have been saying they should have done since. My dear brothers and sisters, I don't know who was put to coordinate Bengui, but we have not been able to give our information. We would think if we do it at Limbe, depending on what we see, without which we are not giving any information. If they deem to think that government will close our congregation, we will still worship. We need accountability for COVID money. Yes, we need accountability for COVID money. Can you imagine in Banga? Can you imagine the same scenario we had it happening at Bangante? Somebody will just stand with a piece of paper. What I'm even holding here in the studio is better. A tiny piece of paper and say, this is what we have spent. This is what is remaining. Is that the way they do accountability? You mean that at the board they don't have any accountant? Somebody who has reasoning faculty to know how that they give succinct information. This is what we have used. This is what we use. This is what remaining. You clear people's doubt. We need accountability for COVID money. If we must continue to give our money for the census they are trying to make. Because we cannot be giving you money now when accountability was not given for the one that you first of all manage. How are we sure you manage this one well? For the census, it's a good initiative. I have not been briefed on it, so I'm not going to really talk on what I have no idea adequately. I'm sure that explanation will be given at Limbe, New Town, during the annual gospel lectureship. Or else I will castigate every thing that is going on, because if we don't really know what is happening, and we are explained, because they are even requesting for money. These are people whom the former board of trustees president, when he wanted to ask for money to carry on activities, they condemned him. But today they are also asking for the same thing. That's why I'm saying that before you start talking reason, because tomorrow, what you have been denying somebody from doing, you may also start doing the same thing. Let us talk about the board of trustees election. It is so shameful and unacceptable that as we speak, the mandate of all those who are at the board have expired and they have not called for election. What accounts for this is simply the love for power and manipulation. In any organization or gathering of people, It is mandated on the executive to call on election when their mandate expires. A purported minute was written and read at Bangante, saying that congregations will call for election when it is time. We ask the question, how will the congregations call for election? Are you saying that congregations will sit and read and write letters within themselves and then call for election, or you that have been put into position to either call for election to renew your mandate, or you or another person taking over the mantle of leadership? We are asking this question because it is important. It is so scandalous that now that money started ringing within the corridors of the church, so many people have decided to behave hypocritical. The board don't want the election to take place, and I perceive that it could be because of money, the COVID money, and the ongoing millions that will be swinging throughout this census. The World Gospel Broadcasting Network is gradually monitoring the situations on the ground and will adequately bring forth details as it goes on. My dear brothers and sisters, how can you say the churches will call for election? What is wrong with them calling for election? I was at Banga. I saw the calamity that took place, the manipulation. Some people showed their hand up, they did not take them. And you see a situation where they don't want the election to take place. This is a sad situation. Let me talk a little about the annual gospel lectureship program at Newtown. It is more of friends, old people, who some of them have even, who have no legitimacy. These are people who have even been part of those who have destroyed the church in this country. You keep putting them on program. The young people are there, they are not using them. We are tired of you. You should be able to know that we are tired of you, these old people. You have not only destroyed this church, you have shown your greed. For more than 60 years that the church has been in this country, what people can do is to buy their cars, build their houses, and claim how they are big people. And the church is tumbling and going down. With these people who have cars, churches are in their villages with no building. They are either washing one kitchen or toilet. They have no shame, no atom of shame. And all they could do is to be moving big cars. And they are putting them on programs. If you cannot listen to another person, don't think that we who are listening to you are even happy listening to you. Some of you are boring. It's not a matter of book, chapter, and verse. Your attitude, your character, your conduct. How can you, for instance, are you going to be putting every year or any program, and you think that you must always take poke and put because it's a white man? Can a white man also listen to a black man? Because you people are soliciting your friendship through making programs. It's a shame. The only thing I see in Newtown, I saw this time on the program, I saw a bagger, maybe because they have been closer to that place and so on. The program in these countries has been in such a manner that it is a particular group of this. I don't want to give you people names, that they have decided to be putting them only in programs. What is happening? Graduates who have graduated in Bible schools, they are not using them. The ones that have graduated in Wututu, the ones that have graduated from SAW, the ones that have graduated from the Bible school in Bamenda, they are not putting them in programs. Now that you have put match pass to take place within the town on Saturday in Newtown, I also hope that you make placards that people will carry. Because if there are no placards that people will just be carrying, just singing and marching on the road like people who have missed their way, it will not work. So what they should do is that they should make placards. The churches of Christ in Cameroon, they should make messages on placard that people will hold, carry, and they are singing and moving. That's another form of preaching, and moving around the town. That also will be very good. It's a proposal I'm giving, which is very essential and fundamental to that match. I think it's very important. I hope they are taking note of that. My dear brothers and sisters, I want to thank all brethren for their cooperation and our reporters on the ground. We are resilient to continue with the good work we are carrying on. There must be checks and balances within the modus operandi of the church. We cannot fold our arms and see things turn apart. The church needs people who are selfless, who have denounced self-centeredness, who have shown away greed and selfishness. We need people who will allow others to stand on their shoulders and go up while they are down. The church is dying. The church is falling down. We cannot weigh the church today that has suddenly changed because we see cars during annual gospel lectureship. These are personal individuals' money that they have stolen. Some of them are stolen, some of them are lied, some of them are committed all kinds of crime to have them. These are things they will never recommend for another person. And this is what they do. We have to start looking at the infrastructure, the growth of the church. Characters of brethren is so terrible. Start looking at the spiritual growth of the church, the infrastructural growth of the church. These are things that we have to start looking at. As we converge at the annual gospel lectureship in Newtown, it is time we reflect carefully. I will be there to monitor whatever will be going on, to see what the board will say in respect to the COVID money, to the money that was given for relief program, adequate accountability. We'll also be looking at how they have conducted the census. These are things that if they are not done, some people's legacy will be dealt with. Some people's names will be rubbed into the mud. The better, you see, arrogance. There's one young man, I don't want to mention his name, but I'm following up whether he called, whether he's the treasurer or is the financial secretary. So arrogant, so self-centered. And I want to say that now henceforth, modalities will be put on how elections are conducted. Is either only preachers of all congregations come and vote the president, or congregations send delegates, so that we will not have any form of manipulation. So that if maybe sends 2 people, or the congregation sends 2 people, from these 2 people they elect the board of trustee president. How can you take the whole church and lump that they should vote for the board of trustee president? Is that the way they do things? No, this is not correct. It has to be done well. Modalities have to be put in place where free, fair, transparent elections will be conducted, and we have competent people mount the position of authority. Let me leave it here for today. God bless you, dear brothers and sisters. Stay safe. Remain resilient. We cannot preach truth and live in hypocrisy and lies telling and claim we are the church of the Bible when hell is at the corner waiting for so many of us. We have to start speaking out now, or we are doomed. God bless you, and bye-bye.